welcome to my channel. I'm Andy Grace. I'm the author of a retelling of the legend of Robin Hood, known as Return to Sherwood. I'm currently working on publishing the sequel to Return to Sherwood. And I am also an avid reader. So my channel is filled with videos chronicling my writing journey and then me talking about books that I've read. This particular video is the second in a series that I just started last month called my mid-month Chit-Chats, where I just kind of sit in front of a camera with some tea and I chat. This is the same mug I used last time, unintentionally. I've been doing a lot of unintentionally coincidental things recently. Anyway, but it's really, really hot. And last time that I did this particular chit-chat video, I burned myself a lot. So I'm just going to let the tea sit and cool off. This last month, you guys, has been so insane and tiny bit stressful. There were some good things, like my brother got married and that was lovely and beautiful and I'm super happy about it, but oh man, other than that, I spent 3 weeks without a computer because my laptop was possessed by a demon. That whole thing is chronicled on my channel if you haven't already seen those videos. Yeah, it was an experience, and without my laptop I wasn't able to do a whole lot because while I have a smartphone, I don't particularly like using it for lots of different things. So I got behind on publishing deadlines for Return to Grace because I didn't have my laptop, so I wasn't able to order proof copies or do any of the things that I was trying to do. And I did actually try to do some of those things on my phone, but it wasn't working. I also, for a very brief period, when the computer was first possessed by a demon, I thought that I was going to have to start over because I hadn't, this is terrible, but I hadn't saved my current edited, well, self-edited copy of Return to Sherwood, not Return to Sherwood, Return to Grace. So I had done all my self-edits and I had formatted it and everything so it was ready to upload to IngramSpark to order the proof, but I hadn't done the ordering of the proof yet, and then my computer was possessed by a laptop. And then I couldn't get in, and I was fairly certain that I was going to have to start over at square one. I had the novel still in unedited form because I write on Google Drive, so I still had several versions of Return to Grace, but I didn't have the edited formatted version, and I just, but I did manage to get onto my computer and save it before the computer was wiped to free it of a demon. Anyway, I'm not here to just rant about the whole computer experience because I already did a video about that. I also broke my phone in August. It was just a month, you know. All of my technology was having issues, and then I was behind on publishing Return to Grace, and I didn't have time to do all the stuff for my nano project that I wanted to do. So both of my writing projects right now are getting Return to Grace ready to be published and then working on nano prep for my novel in November. And I didn't have time to do the nano prep because it requires a lot of reading and then a lot of watching of things, and I have a full-time job and there just was not time to do things. And then I couldn't really do the other stuff because I didn't have a laptop and I was stressing out. Whew, that's hot. I didn't burn myself though, I'd like to point out. It was just warm, it wasn't burning. So with my NaNoWriMo story, the reason I have so much to do in September and October. This is why I started in August. Still wasn't soon enough, but this is why I started in August. I am sort of immersing myself in Arthurian legend because I want to do my own retelling, because I've come to the end of all my Robin Hood stuff, at least for now. And so I wanted to do something else next. And I have written a bunch of other stories, partially written, or I have like story ideas and that sort of thing. And I thought about going to one of those story ideas for NaNoWriMo. However, the story ideas that I have weren't really calling to me, and like the stories that I have like half written, like my fantasy story, I set aside for a reason. And I briefly thought about pulling out the project I tried to do last Nano and do it this Nano, but again, I set it aside for a reason. So I was looking around to try something else. And actually, when I was writing my fantasy story at some point last year, my sister messaged me randomly one time and was like, you should do a King Arthur story. And I was like, that sounds cool. So for the past, I don't know, like 8 to 9 months or something, I really don't remember when she messaged me, but for a while the idea of doing a King Arthur story has been percolating in my brain. And then I was like, you know what, I'm just going to do it. I'm going to do it this November, and it'll be great. So to that end, I'm reading everything I can get my hands on, and I am watching whatever I can get my hands on. Actually, I haven't gotten far in this process yet. I have read a few of the, like, stories from the Middle Ages that my sister let me borrow. I'm currently in the middle of one from, I don't know, like the Tudor Age or something, and I've started watching one show. But I would like to do a lot more reading and a lot more watching of things, so I just am, like, drowning in different King Arthur stories so that my brain can, like, pick apart what it wants to do. Because that's sort of what I did with Robin Hood. Not on purpose, but I was obsessed with Robin Hood, so I was reading things and watching things anyway, and then my brain was like, let's do this. So I'm sort of trying to get my brain to that same point, because I want to do this, but I don't have the same level of understanding of the story already. With Robin Hood, growing up I had watched and read so many things that I already knew the story. And with King Arthur I know, like, some, you know, like I know about King Arthur and Lancelot and Guinevere, but I don't really know the stories. And some of them are vastly different, and that's fine, but I want to be immersed in the story enough that I can play with it. It's like writing, you know, you have to know the rules in order to break them appropriately and, you know, make it work. With Return to Grace, I've ordered the proofs. They haven't come in yet, but I've ordered them. I also ordered an extra one because I have some exciting things coming. I know I've talked about this at least once before on my channel, but I feel like with Return to Grace, the only people working on the project are people who share my name. Because, obviously, I'm working on it. And then Mandy Lynn does my covers, which are always gorgeous, and I'm super excited to share Return to Grace's cover. But her name is Mandy, and my name is Mandy, and it's the same name. And then the lady who's graciously doing these fun things that are coming at some point. Anyway, but her name is Amanda, and my actual legal name is Amanda, so it's just like everyone is me. I should put that in a contract. If your name is not Amanda or Mandy, you cannot work on this. That seems really narcissistic. This was completely accidental, you guys. I didn't do this on purpose. Because I'm basically done with Return to Grace at this point, other than getting the edits back and implementing them, my sole focus for now is going to be the Nano project.